everyone, and welcome back to Light Camera and Mine, and I'm here today to review the last season of The Rain, season 3. It's a really good show. I keep saying it, but it is a really good show. It's one of my favorite shows on Netflix, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of rewatched it twice, that's how good it is. And it still holds up to today. So we're gonna go behind the main point of season 3 and how it kind of accumulates all of the seasons and how it ends in a beautiful way, and behind the scenes facts, because it's a lot of like stuff due to production and stuff. They kind of rushed the ending, but the ending is still beautiful at the end no matter what. So let's get right into it. So before I start, I'm gonna do a little overview. So season 3 of The Rain was released in August of 2020. The story begins with Simone and Rasmus into the final chapter, with now the virus completely in control of Rasmus, embracing the power. And the season centers around the ultimate dilemma: saving the world or sacrificing Rasmus and letting him be the new one to save. The final season escalate both with science fiction and loyal takes on loyalty shifts. Trust is broken. We get answers about the virus origin that we never get. We get a little bit in season 2, but we get more of that. Pallon's attentions and how messed up they are, like they're very messed up, and about how it leans to how it ends, more about what it means to be chosen by loved ones instead of being put love thrusted upon, and I really liked it that. So now on to the next section. Key plot points. So this is a spoiler-free zone, so I'm gonna also do this. I did it in another video. I'm gonna start doing this in videos when I kind of talk a little bit about the show and more in depth, like some scenes and stuff. I am gonna put a time card down below, and also in the video telling you when it's gonna be a spoiler zone. So if you want to skip that, you can skip that, but I'm about to hit spoiler territory, so I'm just letting you guys be aware. So season 3 have a lot of plot points, so I'm gonna hit some of the 3 key plot points. Rasmus and Simone is now on opposite sides because we end season 2 with both of them in conflict and they separate. Rasmus believes that his mutilation of the virus can transform humanity, eliminate his suffering. So pretty much he wants to affect everyone with the virus, because if everyone get the virus, you can't really die. Simone believes that he must be stopped or wiped out of humanity completely, so Simone is thinking that she maybe has to get rid of her brother, and that's a lot for Simone, and we see that with her character. The actress does really good acting about that, like she really gets into that mindset. And Morta, Sarah, and Patrick chooses the side of tension escalates. So we even see their friends like Morten, Sarah, and Patrick choose some choices, and some of the choices lead to bad ends or not the best for some of these characters. Some of these characters do not make it out alive, sadly, but it's due to the choices that they made. The original virus and the Pallon plans are revealed. Everything leads into. So pretty much their plan was to make this virus. It was first intentionally used for war. So like in season 2, we kind of see like they wanted to use the virus for war. They still wanted to use it, but the original plan was they was gonna send this virus to war, but it backfired and it got more people affected than they thought, and it started transferring into people. So the whole storyline of do not mess with science. I don't know how many times we have to do this in film and TV to tell people, but if you're gonna do science, just don't mess with science to a point of modifying stuff, because this is what happens. I'm gonna show a clip of what happens in the show when you mess with science. So pretty much this main story is be careful what you do with science and don't mess too much with humanity. Now on to the next section of the video. Philosophy themes of season 3. And it's a lot to cover. Like season 3 gets really philosophical and I love it. So the first theme is ethnic of a greater god. So Rasmus believes that his affection could save others, see pain as disease and costs eliminate, but at what cost? What is his ultimate altruism? And the slow warns us, we force people to save, but do we do any better than tyrants? Like, they really get into that whole like philosophy and religion of it. It's really good. The second part of the season really gets into free will and destiny. Rasmus sees the affection as destiny and driven to evolution, while Simone believes in free will and the right to choose your own path. Battering like Primus and Pandora. If you ever heard of Pandora's Box, like that whole story, they really play into that with this question of rather, is the power a gift or a curse? Kind of like in Pandora's Box, that whole storyline. If you ever like the whole reading of Pandora gives a box to someone, and we kind of see the box kind of destroy civilization. They kind of play that, but the box instead of the box, Rasmus is the virus, kind of like that. The other section we will be discussing, it's a couple more sections. Science and redemption. Nearly every character faces a moment of sacrifice, final stand, and the decision that defines them. Like Kanin Kurgurg leaps of faith. Finally asks if we could find a place of the unknown, even death. So this person that I looked into, she writes about it. She really talks about what would we do to save the ones we love the most, and what would we do to sacrifice ourselves for someone. It's really interesting. I'm gonna put her reading down below. I'm gonna put a couple of things up on the screen, but it's very interesting and really good. I like some of her work. I've been reading some of her work lately. It's really good. She gets really in depth. Transform and identity. So the biggest part of the show talks about the virus and alter bodies. What is the soul about? Rasmus loses himself, being a savior. Simone is clinging on to her past, grounded. The questions become survival. Is it worth it to lose who you are? And it really plays into that. A lot of characters start questioning how much longer they can survive, stuff like that. It's really good, and they get really in depth in it, and it gets really serious and great. And I really like it. This season gets really philosophical. It gets really deep into philosophy and psychology, and I love it. Now on to the next section. Behind the scenes and production facts. So now we're at the part that I also like the most too, getting to do research behind the scenes and stuff, and it's really good. The final season planning. So the creators was always intended to do The Rain as a 3-act story, beginning, middle, and end. Season 3 has been written to tie up any loose ends, avoid scratching the plot past its time. So the creators of the show always wanted the show to end at season 3, kind of giving it a nice build up. We get part 1, part 2, part 3, like a play. We get part 1 of the play, we get part 2 of the play, we get part 3. And it's really nice. They did have filming challenges during COVID. The final season was formed before the global pandemic. And that's really interesting because the show talks about a virus. So the show is still kind of relevant to today. Nearly minor word conveniences, the virus, vaccines, and antibiotics. Netflix delayed promotional tours due to the lockdown. So usually when a show comes out on streaming or any show, they kind of do promotional tours talking about it. That needed to be shut down due to COVID. So season 3 kind of got announced and it got a trailer, but it was not a lot of promotion due to the whole quarantine. Rasmus powers and special effects in VFX. The visuals in season 3 are more advanced in this season, especially with Rasmus. The affection scene requires digital makeup, motion capture, and slow motion tracking. So they did even more CGI, and it's really good. And some of the work is really impressive. I really like when I see stuff like that. You see the actual scene and then you see the CGI. And I'm gonna put a clip if I find it pretty much like the way they do stuff is incredible. Kara Clogger, Sarah, it was her largest role in season 3. She worked closely with Lucas, Rasmus, and created tension, emotional, especially scenes where love clashed into danger. So they had a lot of chemistry on set. They did a lot of acting together to really like build that up. And film and locations, guys, the show had some amazing film and locations, but they had even more this season. Even more labs, urban zones were used, even tighter dystopian tech vibes. And they really got into that contrast to season 1. So I'm gonna find some set photos of season 1 and season 2. So if you see, it really like transforms. It does a 360 to post-apocalyptic near the end. And it's really good. And you just see how the show just develops over time with the set design, and I love it. Now on to the final section. Final message and ending. Guys, I'm going to talk about the ending just a little. So this is also a spoiler-free zone, so if you want to skip it, I will put a time code down below. But the final episode, it counters one idea. What if the value of life and what is the act of love changing the course of destruction? The rain does not end with an explosion, but with emotion. Those who sacrifice over spectacle. The decision some viewers loved, meaning that others found anti-Semitic. So what I mean by that is by the end of the show, Rasmus and everyone is alive. Pretty much, because it's kind of sad, but like Rasmus sacrifices himself with Sarah, and it's really, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but pretty much that's a big part. And the fans were kind of 50-50 on it. I kind of liked it because it kind of like wraps the story all up. Because the whole point was Rasmus he was thinking near the end of the season why I should give people the opportunity to live. And he was thinking, oh, everyone could be immortal. But then he really thought about it. He's like, if you live forever, you're not really living. It was really nice. And yeah, like the ending was beautiful. And like just the ending like scene with the whole like graphics and like effects was really cool and nice. But pretty much that's my whole review of The Rain. Pretty much this is the last season of The Rain. It was really good. I would say the last season, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Like it took it to a whole new level. And I'm gonna say it, I liked The Rain. I liked all of it. And it's a really good show. And I'm gonna say this now, if you're gonna watch The Rain is a show that like, you're gonna watch it and you're not gonna be able to stop. It's one of those shows that like, if you're gonna watch it, I recommend watching it with maybe a friend, a family member, and just sitting down, like having a nice like binge watch, get some snacks, watch it. And really like, I'm gonna say this, I'm one of those people like, if I watch a show I'm interested in, I'm muting my phone, I'm not touching my phone. This is a show you have to pay attention to the smallest detail. So I'm saying this now as well. If you're gonna watch the show, really pay attention. Don't be talking. Don't like really pay attention to the show. And it was a really good show, and I loved it. Like a show like this was really good, and it was still ahead of its time. Like this show brought more international stuff to like mainstream streaming services, and I loved it. So pretty much that's the video today, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you have any other international shows you would like to suggest or movies, please let me know. I am looking more into international shows and movies, so any suggestions would be good. Hopefully you guys liked the video, and I will see you guys next time.